If you're searching for a meaningful spiritual experience, look no further than St. Anthony's Parish in Allston, Massachusetts. Join us at 43 Holton Street in between Soldiers Field Road and the Mass Pike. Immerse yourself in the complete St. Anthony's Parish encounter through our 10 o'clock a.m. chanted Mass. Whether you're a Catholic seeking a parish to call home or someone looking for spiritual guidance, our welcoming community is here for you. Visit our website at www.stanthonyalston.org for more information. St. Anthony's Parish, where faith finds a home. Welcome to the voice of St. Anthony Parish from Allston, Massachusetts, right here on WROL, 950 AM, 100.3 FM, and you can also hear us at CatholicAudiomedia.com. That's CatholicAudiomedia.com. We're continuing with my imaginary commencement address to an imaginary university, or at an imaginary university, to the imaginary graduating class of 2024. Let me get back to the homeless for a moment. I will tell you, as proud as you are of your accomplishments, you are and should be. There are people who are just as talented and even more so, but they never had the chance to get where you are. I realized long ago what you actually received from here was not only an education, but more importantly, a network. That network of graduates and others who respect graduates of this university will help you to make connections that will take you far. This is something the poor do not have, and maybe another reason they are poor is they do not have this. Your connections, if you respect them and give them and keep them properly, will allow you to do many things and help many people. Remember, you may have to help people who were not so connected. Do you know what else? That simple principle I just described for you is something the good and the bad know well. Eugene Rivers, who graduated from Harvard University, put together a team to build the 10-Point Coalition to lead people out of gangs. When I was serving in an inner-city parish, he spoke to us and taught us how gang leaders and drug dealers use the same principle. He said his team asked them how they ended up selling drugs or recruiting into gangs, and they responded that they were where parents did not show up. They made the connection in the absence of the parents. Be aware of this and use it for the good of many, because many will use it for bad if you ignore this simple principle. One of the best ways to make connections is in the church. In fact, many community organizers have preached churches, but others do not. They know the power of churches because of their connections and work to close them. Connections are as important as everything you learn to get a degree. Remember, many times the poor are the poor because they do not have connections, because they were too busy surviving. Maybe their families were a mess. Maybe they were a mess. Maybe they sought relief from their pain in drugs and alcohol and became addicted and homeless. There is a term for that kind of drug use. It's called self-medication. Maybe they found a group that was there to be the family they did not have, only to discover too late it was a gang. It doesn't matter. You can help them turn their lives around if you understand the principle of connections and use it to reach out to the poor. Many have tremendous talents, but you know they never had the chance to show it to others, and their talents lay dormant because they are too busy surviving. It is possible they were too busy surviving to do well enough in school to make it. It doesn't matter. There is a great amount of talent there, and some of you will find it in the strangest of places. If you put these two systems together, you can do many things and help people out as they benefit society. Let me explain. I know a case of an older teen who did not get the chance to go to college. He got a job driving a van for a dry cleaner. He had to pick up and deliver clothes. He only lasted a few days. You see, he did not have much money, and he had an uninsured, unregistered car he needed to bring to another part of the state about 20 miles away. He thought if he borrowed the license plate off the company van, no one is going to know. So he did exactly that and used it to move the car. Unfortunately, he got caught. A Massachusetts state police officer patrolling the highways noticed that the license plate did not fit the vehicle. It was on a Honda Civic, and if I'm not wrong, it was also a lowrider, but it certainly was not a commercial van. The man was caught, arrested, and had to go to court the next day. He was released on his own recognizance. Nevertheless, the company fired him. However, I want you to think about this. If you are saying, well, this is what happens when you commit a crime, you're right. However, he was trying to solve a problem that he could not afford to solve properly. He thought out of the box. Granted, he should not have done what he did, but he had a talent to think out of the box, and the dry cleaners lost a great resource that day. The boss could have scolded him and told him if he did anything like that again, he would be fired. However, if a problem came up, the two of them could put their heads together and come up with a legal solution to another problem. The companies that hire you will never hire this man because they claim they want someone who thinks outside the box, but they really don't. I want to give you the best example of someone thinking outside of the box that someone paid attention to, and I'm not going to name the company, but I will tell you this story. Many of you know that on October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles and Mercury Theater on the Air, which did not have a radio sponsor at the time, scared people all over the country into believing that our nation was being invaded by Martians by doing a kind of a real presentation of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. When all was said and done, the United States was upset, the Congress was upset, and even Orson Welles admitted he may have destroyed, as he called it, the CBS, which was then the name of the Columbia Broadcasting System. We all know who they are today. But you know what? There was one company that said, if there is a guy there who can convince people that the whole world is being invaded by Martians, he can convince people to eat our soup. And the very next week, Orson Welles and Mercury Theater on the Air had a sponsor. I'm not going to tell you the name of the company, but I will tell you it is a still in business soup company because someone recognized the value of thinking out of the box. This brings me to another point. I want to talk to you about fake news. Now, I know many of you think of someone who recently turned the term into a meme. However, it is really an old term. I first understood the concept of media bias from Noam Chomsky, who I'm sure many of you do not know. He is considered America's leftist radical. He warned against fake news during the Vietnam War. Now, many of you do not know this, but I came from a media family. My father wrote for the Boston Globe back when it was a prestigious newspaper run by the Taylor family. I worked for the Globe too, but I was not a writer then. So when I hear of a man speak of media bias, I am quite skeptical. I asked him if this meant that people sit in offices and make decisions of what will be published and what will not be printed. He explained to me no. He said in order to go up in a company, you have to buy the company line. The higher one goes in a company, the more he or she conforms to the company way of thinking, so that by the time you are in a decision-making role, you are thinking the way the company wants you to think. Keep this in mind. If you want to be a challenger to your future company, the people whom you challenge will fire you, as Orson Welles almost was fired, because they will not understand your message. If you find this to be the case, then you will have to build your own path. You will not change the company and stay employed at the same time. There is nothing wrong with taking any route, but remember, if you become an agent of change, you will have to do it outside a corporate environment. The corporation will change you or dismiss you before it will change. Do not be discouraged at this thought. That only means that you might have to create your own path in service to God. I will tell many of you want to go out there and change the world. Have a great time. Ultimately, you will realize that chances are you will have little effect on the path of the world. I have news for you, and you're not going to like it. Among those who most change the world, you will learn that Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg were college dropouts. Sorry to tell you this. However, they did change the world on a macro level. How did they do it? One computer or one user at a time. Two others, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, also changed the world, and they did have college degrees, but they are famous for changing the world in ways that are not in connection with their college degrees. Elon Musk, for example, does not have a degree in engineering. You're listening to the voice of St. Anthony Parish from Alston, Massachusetts, right here on WROL, 950 AM, 100.3 FM, and you can also hear us at CatholicAudiomedia.com. That's CatholicAudiomedia.com. We'll be right back right after this. You can now leave a message for us, which we can air and discuss on this program. Just call 617-297-7452. That's 617-297-7452. 617-297-7452. Feel free to call, leave a comment, a question, or even feedback, and we may play it on the air. I can discuss your comment or question as well, so give that a try. 617-297-7452, 617-297-7452. Welcome back. Well, we are listening this week to my imaginary commencement address at an imaginary university to imaginary graduating students who I understand did very well and worked very hard. Actually, I'm just kidding. But we are listening to that, and this is what I would have said. And the reason is I'm basically saying things that I think need to be said at Catholic universities and in Catholic environments. And it's different than what Harrison Butker said, but it also is something that needs to be said. In the meantime, we will talk to you tomorrow with the third part of this address. We'll see you then. I want to call your attention to Catholic TV, which offers great faith-filled, family-friendly programming 24 hours a day. You can find your cable channel at www.getcatholictv.com, and you can watch online on the free apps or check out the YouTube channel. Daily Mass, Rosaries, the Divine Mercy Chaplet, and the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Novena are all available online and on demand. Check out CatholicTV.com. If you're searching for a meaningful spiritual experience, look no further than St. Anthony's Parish in Alston, Massachusetts. Join us at 43 Holton Street in between Soldiers Field Road and the Mass Pike. Immerse yourself in the complete St. Anthony's Parish encounter through our 10 o'clock a.m. chanted Mass. Whether you're a Catholic seeking a parish to call home or someone looking for spiritual guidance, our welcoming community is here for you. Visit our website at www.stanthonyalston.org for more information. St. Anthony's Parish, where faith finds a home.